Well, I haven't posted in like a year, you know. And reason for not posting is I just ain't really been doing anything too interesting in here. And then just a little bit of laziness and stuff, so it does take a little bit of effort to post videos and things. So, and which, and what's stupid about that is I kind of enjoy it. So it's kind of one of those things. But I'm going to try to get back to it. I might even try to post a video a week. Not sure. But at any rate, I'll just do a quick, I guess, update of kind of where I'm at, because I'm myself getting back into the general routine of things. So I painted this about a year ago and had a few issues. Car looked good. I got a little bit of trash in it, and I believe that it was all in the base coat, on top of the last coat of base coat, before it started shooting clear. And if you get stuff in the base coat on the collar, you can fix it. You can sand it out with an 800 or pick it out, or even use a tack rag and wipe it off and things. But when you do that, you need to hit it with the last coat of base coat before you clear. You can't do that before clear. It'll mess your base coat up. At any rate, I didn't see a lot of the trash in it when it was still in base, where it's not shiny. There's no gloss to it. So, and the collar's kind of odd to try to get covered evenly when it's not glossy. It's a metallic, dark metallic gray, basically. It's not really a silver. A lot of metallic. But at any rate, had trash in it. But it's kind of, that sucks. But nothing goes perfect, and it's good enough for the girls I go out with, kind of a thing. So, not really too concerned about that. But I had a problem. Like I said, I don't know if this is on my last videos or anything, but I had a drop of clear come out of my paint cup right on the quarter panel. I think it might have been two. I can't remember now. It was like this before I even had clear laid over. Right when I started, I had hit the roof, and then I was doing that, and then it dripped right through here. So, well, that's not that big a deal. You wouldn't think, but this is something that I never experienced before, so I had to do a little bit of learning. I never used activator for base coat. So you have your reducer, you have your collar, which is your base coat or paint, and then you have your activator, which is your catalyst or your hardener kind of a thing. You can get away with not using it. I've just never used it because I'm going right back over it with clear, and the clear and all that will let her kick off. So I figured with the run and the clear, that those drops of clear coat, those would flow out over the time. Also put my 3 coats of clear on it, then I'll just block that down or collar sand it down flat during the polishing process and things, And that wasn't a big deal because I was going to flow coat the car or double clear the car so that I could put SS stripes on it, and then re-clear the car and then block it down or whatever. So some people call it a double clear job or flow coat or whatever you want to call it. So at any rate, I was going to do that. Anyway, so as the paint job progressed, if you get a sagger running clear, you can just, it looks like what it looks like. You're just used to that. Well, it looked different, these drips. I was like, man, I might have a problem. Any rate, let it all dry, and then I go to try to sand that down flat, and I'm able to see it. And then I start hitting base coat. I'm like, why am I hitting collar or base coat? And then as I get flatter, I discover the problem, which was those 2 heavy drops of clear with the activator in the clear, or the reducer in the clear, reactivated the dried base coat. And then what did it do? It pulled the paint right off of the car. So as I got it flatter, I got in the primer. You could start seeing the primer and stuff. So, so in that case, how screwed am I? Really not that bad, because I was going to block the car back down in like 600 grit, and then paint the black stripes on it, and then clear the whole car again. So not too big a deal. The only thing I'm out is a little bit is more paint, more color, because I'd have to basically repaint the whole car instead of just clear coat it, because you can't blend that in, the metallic and stuff, the effort and stuff it would have took to try to blend all that in after it already having clear on it stuff. I might as well just throw 2-3 more coats of base coat on it, and then I wouldn't have any blending problems. So I ended up sanding it back down to where and when I was sanding this down, I wasn't exactly sure what happened, right? I was kind of in that research and development phase, something that I never had happen. Never pulled paint off the car with a clear coat, drip. But so what could you do better, or what could I do better? I'll just add activator to the base coat, which will kick it off to where it's cured before clear. And again, you can get away with not using an activator. I've never used it, but I will now, because if it would have been if I would have used activator in the clear or the base coat, then I would have been able to sand that down. Actually, if the clear would have hit it like it did, it wouldn't have pulled the collar. Not saying it wouldn't, but more than likely it wouldn't have pulled the collar off the car, because it would have had that catalyst in it. So at any rate, I blocked this down and had to keep going, because at the time I wasn't sure what happened. So I was like, I don't know what I've damaged under here, so I wanted to kind of remove that. So I went down to the sealer, and then I was like, well, I could just, it's blocked out, I could just paint over that. But I was kind of scared that you might see some of the transition if I didn't get it feathered out right where I went through the base coat again. So I went ahead and put some 2K primer on it and then blocked it down right, just for a little bit of insurance, I guess. I had another issue right here where I was painting in cold temperatures. I had the panels up to about 65 degrees, but it was probably in the 50s in the shop, which is good. You can paint in it, but you run risk of runs. So I had a few little runs, but I had this front end's got a lot of whoop-de-doos and everything. So, it's hard to just, when you're coating it, when you're painting it, just to get one coat on it without double hitting it and getting it heavy and getting it to sag or run. But I had a run right in here. I think it was right in here. Actually, I had a run right on this one, and then it kind of sagged down in here. And I think, same thing over here. I think it got heavy right in here, trying to get that coated with clear. And it went down in here, so I ended up kind of the same thing. It didn't pull the collar off the car, but I had to block that out in that crappy area. So I ended up blocking on it and getting it flat, and broke through into the base coat, and then I think into the primer a little bit. Can't remember now, but again, I elected to, since I was mixing up some 2K for the quarter there, I went ahead and hit it right there and then reblocked that out just to be safe. So I realized that I'm probably holding my phone top to bottom, so this video is going to be kind of odd anyway, but whatever. I think I have a little bit of something there, kind of the same thing, but it's looking good. It's like in 600 grit, I think it is. And what I'm doing today is I'm just going over the edges of everything, just little, I'm actually right in here right now in the door, just getting it roughed up so I can hit it again. So the next interesting thing is make a temporary paint booth. I even thought about an inflatable, but I don't like the idea of the electric going out and it falling on your car. But just something to keep the dust down. And I could just paint without it, maybe throw some plastic up and stuff, but like a lot of times I get extra time in the winter, like we all probably do, and you want to throw paint down, but you got to have heat in there too. So then you got this situation. This is a wedding tent. I think it's like a 26 by 13 or something. Chinese, obviously. This is going to be the paint booth. The thought was I was going to just do something out of PVC pipes, real cheap. So I thought, I priced it out, and I can't remember the numbers, but I was going to have as much in PVC pipe just for the frame of a temporary booth as I would buying a wedding tent. Of course, comes with the covering and everything with it, which would be metal bracing and stuff, for probably cheaper. And then I could probably either reuse it or what have you. But I'd be ahead on material, definitely. And that wedding tent tarp, we'll see where we get with it. But one of the things is, even with one of those inflatable booths, is you spray in it and you try to keep it clean and put it up and all that. You get that dried clear coat and paint and stuff on the inside of it, and then after a couple jobs, little tiny particles will start breaking off and floating around when you're painting and stuff. So I really like the disposable plastic. So I'll probably paint and use this and tape it up and whatever. And depending on how it looks, probably just throw the tarp away, or maybe not even use the tarp, period, for the first job. And then just, get your plastic and just use the wedding tent frame. Like I said, buying that wedding tent, when it comes to the frame of it and stuff, I was still ahead than doing a PVC situation. So that will be kind of the sideshow, I guess. I got some paint booth. Those are intake filters for an actual paint booth that are sticky on one side. I was going to use furnace filters, but I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to buy these. And I got a little bit of drywall pieces here. That's just for hard corners when you're doing drywall. I'm going to take those and probably screw them or rivet them together and make frames for the wall of the paint booth to hold the intake filters. So, and then I'm going to use some different stuff here, but those are the fans I usually use for this whole shop, just these three box fans from Walmart. So I'm going to use those as exhaust fans, and I might, I'll set those up. I got some other shop fans and stuff, but whatever. I'll set those up and then try to figure out kind of the flow that those are going to pull through my intake filter system. And we'll just try to play with it and see what kind of draft we can get. You don't want too much flow, but you got to have enough to pull that out of there. Blah, blah, blah. So, redneck wedding tent paint booth. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to set it up in this center bay where there's nothing in there. After I finish this car, I'll throw the wheels on it, fire it up, put it over here, and then drag this stuff over there and start putting the booth up. In my particular situation, I think the length of it might be a little long, so I'm going to try to get around those garage door tracks right there. But it will be pretty cost effective and pretty good. This here is a adhesive zipper. So I'm going to put an adhesive zipper in either the tarp or the, plastic that I'm going to throw up for the paint booth so that I can kind of unzip and kind of have a little bit of a door to get in and out of, so I can kind of seal that up. The fans, it's going to be pulling stuff out of the garage. And I'm going to have the exhaust fans pulling it out, but I might change it up. I may put the exhaust fans on the intake side blowing in, and then put furnace filters or whatever on the other side to just let it naturally exit, kind of like a pressurized booth or positive pressure booth instead of like a negative pressure. So I'm not exactly sure on that part. At any rate, that's where we're going with it. Again, there's not a lot that I've done to this thing in this last year. Only thing I've done was fix those issues and basically block sand it. That's all I've done. Not a lot going on in here. Just regular maintenance, regular this and that, but nothing, no real progress on any projects at all. So, did a little bit of organization and cleaning. I know it don't look like it, but I'll probably do something on what I've been doing. This will continue when the weather gets a little better. I bought the side-by-side CF Moto. Pretty awesome. So I put like a clutch kit in it, primary and secondary clutch kit in it, to fix the hard engagement issues and stuff that most side-by-sides have. But that's the only thing I've done to this thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go with a new paint gun on this car this time. It's this Black Widow HTP or HTE. I'm not a big fan of high volume, low pressure guns. I like something kind of like the SATA RP or reduced pressure, which is what HTE is. I like to really throw the material on. And I'm a little bit old school. Like, I like these Bink 7s. I like conventional guns. However, I do like saving material and spraying at a lower pressure, so I'm still kind of learning which HVLP guns. So that's a whole other lesson. Anyway, I don't know what happened there, but this is the adapter for the PPS cup. It's actually the Spectrum brand, the Harbor Freight, which they work pretty good. I will warn you that you got to make sure these are clicked in good and got a good seal, because this is where my cup leaked. Actually, no, it was right here. The sealing of this, I had some clear right there, and it dropped out on the side of the car, so that was kind of what screwed me up. I think they're pretty cool, but you're never going to go wrong with a regular cup, other than like spraying upside down on these cups. You can pull all the air out of your paint cup with that liner in there, and then you can spray. You can take your gun and spray upside down on your rockers and stuff like that with without it coming out of the cut, so it's pretty cool. That's why I've been using them for quite a while, and they work pretty good, but that's the only upset I've had. Which, are the cups junk? No, they're not. It was user error, so. But at any rate, if anyone's used those HTE guns, especially the Black Widow, let me know. I think they work pretty good. This will be my first car painting with one of those. I really like siphon guns, and I want to. I like the old siphon guns, and I still, like I said, I'm trying to learn things. Some of the newer stuff. I know I've used a lot of the HVLP guns. I'm about done with them for the way that I like to shoot paint. So I like to hose it on. I am looking for something. I bought one on eBay. It's the Spectrum HTE gun that they didn't really make for automotive, but it's a siphon gun, but it's HTE, so it's got the paint material savings. But you know, it's basically the siphon version of this gun. And you know what? I don't know where I put it. I have not thrown any paint out of it yet. You know, and I may even change my mind if I play around with it to spray this car with that gun. But it's the Spectrum siphon-fed HTE gun that they have at Harbor Freight, and it's more like something that you spray shellac out of, stuff like that, or you know, painting wood projects. It's got a 1.7 big tip, which I like to hose it on with a big fluid tip. So I might spray this car with that Spectrum siphon gun. It's kind of killing me that thing, where that thing's at. That tells you how long it's been since I've been messing around in here. But at any rate, you know what a siphon gun is. This is the cheap primer gun. But at any rate, whatever. I'm starting to ramble now. I'm starting to mindlessly ramble about nothing, basically. Yeah, and now I'm getting into where I know that I had something laying here. Now, I don't know where it went, or even if I still own it. Like, how do you lose stuff that you were just messing with? So, anyway, whatever. You guys don't care about that anyway. All right. That's about it. I'm going to get busy. I might throw another update, but I'm going to continue sanding this, roughing this clear coat up, sanding this clear down, preparing this car, and get on maybe trying to erect this paint booth. So, yeah, leave that. I'm aggravating myself here. I actually probably will sell these DeVelbus HVLP guns, maybe. I don't know. I might list those things. So I'm about done with them. Like, they're a great gun. They do well. But I like a HTE or like the SATA RP, where it's got higher pressure and really hammers out the material, and like a conventional gun. You know, when you grow up with like an old school conventional gun, and then you try all this new stuff, I don't know. I'm probably an idiot, but I really like how those higher pressure, higher flow guns really hammer that material down, and it really gets a good finish. A lot easier than an HVLP for me. So whatever. I'm starting to ramble again. I'm an idiot. Where's that stupid gun at? If you guys do that, I know you do. How do you? I mean, I know I haven't really been in here doing my normal garage crap for like a while, and I know, I get it. I don't know where that thing's at. I wonder if I sold it. No, I don't think I'd sell it. I don't believe I would. Why would I do that? Got on the scrap cover here. Nope. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to give it just a little bit more time. Whatever, dude. Whatever.